Hi guys, welcome to the channel, and yes, today is a special edition because we've teamed up with one of the best players in the world. AST at the time of filming was ranked #1 in the world, and at the end of the season finished in the top 10. Guys, that is amazing, and here are the best players in the world, guys. Moving forward, we're going to be working with some other top players, so do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and join the Samoose army to make sure you don't miss anything. So let's jump into some replays, look at the army competition, and see how to use this awesome attack strategy. Let's go. Kaboom! So here's the first replay then, guys. First replay is Ast, second replay me, and then third replay back to him. So let's check out the army composition first. That's really important, obviously, and I have put the army composition in the video description, by the way, as well, so do check that out. So anyway, your troops are going to be 2 archers, 5 wall breakers, 28 balloons, 1 baby dragon, 8 minions, including Mike the Minion, 3 lava hounds, and 2 headhunters. Your spells, they're going to be 7 lightning spells, 1 earthquake spell, and 3 haste spells. Donated clan castle troops will either be 9 balloons or 5 balloons and 1 dragon. Your siege machine is normally going to be a battle blimp or a stone slammer. And there you go, guys. Let's see how the top player does it. AST. So it's really effective against these sort of anti-3-star bases with a town hall on the edge. Centralized town hall bases as well. It works perfectly against those, but it just takes a bit more planning. So guys, let's learn together. Let's see how it's done. So guys, the first stage of the attack is planning. If you plan effectively with this attack strategy, it makes it so much easier to use. We've got 7 lightning spells and 1 earthquake spell. That is the first stage of the attack. Where are we going to use these? Your #1 priority to take out is the clan castle, then the eagle artillery, then scatter shots, inferno towers, and the enemy queen. On this base, we can take out the clan castle and eagle artillery. A quick tip for you here, when you're using your earthquake spell, just try and position it so you take out the high value targets but damage surrounding buildings as well. It just makes things easier further into the battle. Next stage of the attack, your heroes. You need to use your heroes effectively to take out high value targets. You're going to lose your heroes. Don't feel bad about that, guys. So we put the Royal Champion in over there on the left with the Headhunter to take out the enemy Royal Champion. We want her to get further into the base and take out that air defense. King and Queen at the bottom there. The King is taking all the damage and the Queen is clearing up the defenses. This is looking good. So we still haven't put in the main troop force yet. And we've taken out quite a large portion of the base. A quarter of the base has been taken out now. No clan castle, no eagle artillery. So look how much easier it's going to be to use this attack strategy now. So the Queen's, is she going to try and get into the base? No, she's going to keep walking around the edge there. And that air defense is just going to be out of range. The King ability used, but a wall breaker. This is where the wall breakers are really important. And this is sort of one part of the attack people struggle with. Using those wall breakers to help the heroes into the base to take out high value targets. Now the Queen can take out that air defense, which is massive. And can she take out that inferno tower? It's going to be close, but we've got the Queen ability, so yes, there we go. And now look at the base. Sort of the left-hand side of the base, nearly half of the base is gone, so we can just funnel the rest of our troops in, and they're going to naturally go towards that town hall. So this attack is beautiful, guys, and it's all about the preparation work with the heroes and the lightning spells and the earthquake spell. And you're going to use this attack strategy and go away, and you're going to struggle, guys, initially. It's all about practice. But these top attack strategies require practice, guys. You know, I had plenty of 1-star attacks using these, but I had some beautiful 3-star attacks as well, which I will show you one of them in the next replay. So here we go, Grand Warden ability, save those balloons over the enemy town hall. And now it's just clean up time, really. A few minions over there. And that is Mike the Minion in the top corner. You can't see him. He's slightly larger than the other minions and more intimidating. Mike the Minion, he's absolutely fantastic. As you can see, guys, look how easy this 3-star attack looks. I know it wasn't, and it was all about the planning. And that's what people struggle with, the planning. Where do I use my lightning spells? That's pretty easy to do that part of the attack, but it's about the heroes and the funnel to create for your troops later on. It's all about pathing. It's the same with Hog Miner Hybrid. But as you can see, this just looks really easy. Loads of balloons left, Grand Wardens there, even a dragon. And there's Mike the Minion. There he is. See, he is bigger than the other minions on the left there. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that's how the professionals do it. Let's see how I got on with it against a centralised town hall base. It isn't going to be as pretty, guys. Definitely not. But it just shows that I can do this as well. And like I said, I'm just being totally honest. There were plenty of fails on my part, but practice made me better at it. And it doesn't matter if you get sort of a 2-star attack high percentage. That's great. You're not going to 3-star all the time. But the most important thing is practice, guys. So on this base, we want to take out the clan castle. Like I said, That's a high value priority target. And we can take out the enemy queen as well. And hopefully that Inferno Tower And if we time it right, maybe even the scatter shot. I'm just waiting for the Queen to walk round, guys. You know, this is part of the problem with lightning spells. You need to wait for the Queen to be in the right place. There we go. 7 spells down really quickly. I've never put lightning spells down as quickly in my life. And then I'm thinking, where can we put the earthquake spell down to take out, make as much damage to other buildings? There we go. I probably would have been better putting it over to the left. There we go. Look how much damage and destruction we caused to the enemy base. That's perfect. And now at this point, I'm thinking, oh, what do I do now? And this is where you'll learn where to put in your heroes. I'm going to put the king in over there. And then your super wall breakers would be a good shout in this army if you can use them. But I'd say use normal wall breakers. Learn with the normal troops. It will make you better at it. So I should really put in the wall breakers now. Here we go. Yes. And this is the second most important part of the attack. Getting your heroes into the base. If the king and queen didn't go into the base there, we would have no chance of getting 3 stars, I don't think. But they're in the base now and they can cause destruction. Use the king ability when you need it. And the queen there can take out some important targets. Then we're going to put in the rule champion over there on the left. I've used the ability nice and early. Don't be afraid of using the ability early. It's quite a good tactic, and a lot of top players do use that. And we need to take out that air defense, but we just didn't manage. But the king and queen are still going, and we still haven't used the main army yet. Just beware, don't run out of time, guys. But if you get to this point in the attack, it's really good. Things are going well. We've nearly taken out 1/3 of the base. High value targets, no clan castle. So yeah, we're going to put a lava hound in there. A few balloons, there we go. Lava hound down there, a few balloons. And then what siege machine are we going to use? Against the centralized town hall, the battle blimp's probably the best choice, but you get more value out of the stone slammer, of course. So I'm confident the troops are going to make it to the town hall. So we're going to go with a stone slammer, guys. Yes. On another day, the stone slammer might have just flown by the town hall and we would have got 1 star. But I was confident, look, the troops are going to go to that town hall. There we go. And we've got the Grand Warden ability. Get ready to use it. We don't want to lose all those balloons. And yes, we've protected a few balloons. Town hall's down. And guys, if you didn't see kaboom in the top right corner, you might actually think this was a decent attack. Yeah. So it looks pretty good, doesn't it? And this, you know, when it does work, guys, it works magnificently. It really does. And there's Mike the Minion. There he is. You can see him over there on the right. Just coming into the battle now. And there we go, guys. There we go. This is how it can work. And it does take practice. Like I said, do some friendly challenges in your clan. Just keep practicing, keep practicing. Centralized town hall bases are trickier. The town halls on the edge of the map, you can sometimes take them out with your king and queen, which really helps. So on to our last replay today. So here we go. What I was just saying. Town hall on the edge of the map. These, I won't say these are easy to take out with this attack strategy, but as soon as you can take out the town hall, guys, it just makes things so much easier. So, where are we going to use these lightning spells and earthquake spell? Let's have a look. So we've got the clan castle there. Okay. Few expos around it. And you've got that Inferno Tower on multi just below. So as you can see, Ast takes his time, which is fine, guys. If you're going to be one of the best players out there, you need to take your time. And look at that. Beautiful. So, 3 expos gone. And an air defense and the clan castle. That's how you do it. There is a skill to using these lightning spells and earthquake spell. There really is. You need to sort of look and think, what targets can I take out? Where's the earthquake spell? What's the radius of that? So here we go. So the king's in there causing carnage. No clan castle troops to worry about. And the queen and baby dragon are getting things done. And she is now going to take out that town hall. You've got a couple of free spells as well to use, guys, if you need them. But the queen didn't need it there. And that's, you know, you're guaranteed 2 stars now, pretty much, guys. You just need to have a look at where the air sweepers are pointing. We're all champions going in. This is the part people struggle with. Where do I send her in to take out high-value targets? Can she take out that multi-inferno? It's going to be close. Yes, she can. She can't take out a scatter shot as well, can she? No. So there we go. 18% of the base, 1 star achieved, and in they come now, the Lava Hounds. There's Larry the Lava Hound at the top. Mike the Minions in early. There's the Royal Champion, some balloons. Deployment of the balloons. I had a chat with Ast, and he was saying that he likes putting enough balloons down to take out the targets. So people, you see people, you're normally putting them in sort of clumps of 3 or 4 balloons to take out targets. With the Lava Hounds first, they go for the air defences. Use the haste spells to get those troops into the base. Grand Warden ability protects against multi-infernos, and scatter shots especially are really nasty. And obviously, like I said earlier, the Stone Slammer, you get so much value out of the Stone Slammer. So if you can use a Stone Slammer, I mean, on a base like this, we didn't need to worry about the Town Hall. The only time you wouldn't really use a Stone Slammer is a centralised Town Hall where you're worried about nobody going to the Town Hall. But the Stone Slammer really helps. It's like an extra Lava Hound, the amount of damage you can take. Look at those wall breakers, guys. We've got a wall breaker attack on the left there. Boom! Yes. And it just looks, you know, so easy, doesn't it? And guys, just a quick reminder that on this channel we got something called a creator code. It's where you can help support the channel in-game if you enter creator code Moose. Just go to settings, scroll down more settings, scroll down, support a creator, enter code Moose, and it just means if you spend any money in-game, it helps support the channel. I've also put a link in the video description just above the army composition summary where you click that and it does it all for you, guys. Any support would be absolutely awesome. So there we go, Mike the Minion and his friends getting the 3 stars. Yes, guys. So I hope you've learned something today. Let me know what you think in the video comments. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this of top players, top attacks, and let's learn them together. This is Samu signing out. Pleasure as always. I'll catch you later.
Today, I am going to set myself a little bit of a record by spending over 165 million loot in Clash of Clans. Welcome back to the channel then, guys. I'm your host, Judo Sloth. Something a little bit different today, but this one felt special that I thought you would appreciate it as a video, because I will be spending over 165 million loot. I already have my storages maxed, there is a bunch of special offers which we will be purchasing, and we have the rewards from the season pass. Now I will be trying to give you a bit of advice on efficiency of upgrades and how to spend your loot, because I like to bring educational but entertaining Clash of Clans videos. So if that's the type of content you want to see, I would recommend subscribing and also turning on the notification bell. Quickly doing the math, we have 14 million gold and 14 million elixir, which is 28 million. Moving to the season pass, a rune of gold and elixir is 28 million again, which is already 56 million. Then within the shop, 2 runes of gold, 2 runes of elixir, which is 56 again, bringing our total to 112. Then, with 50 million in this offer, we have 162. We then have nearly a million of loot in the treasury of each as well, which is 164. Plus, we have 1.5 million in Dark Elixir with runes and the offers. Wow, this is going to be incredible. Let's go. The first learning point that I want to make clear before purchasing the packs and spending the loot is that you can cap out in-game, but not within the shop. I already have a rune of Dark Elixir, therefore I cannot collect another one. You can only have one of each type of rune. One of each type of book. Your storages are capped out at a certain limit, but if you are purchasing anything in the shop, you can overstack. That is why you see people with multiple books, with more loot than their storages can hold. So for that reason, if you are purchasing any of the packs, you want to make sure you have collected everything in-game first, whether that be from the season pass, the clan games. Do not purchase things until you have collected the books already, otherwise you might miss out. With that being said, and my items collected, we can go ahead and make the purchases as well as spend the loot. Now you can help to support your favorite creator by entering their code within the shop. Now as long as you do this before making any purchases, Supercell will share a small part of the revenue with your favorite creator at no extra cost to you. So you have nothing to lose, and it really does help to support the channels. A lot of the content we bring takes a number of hours. For example, my Queen Walk video took about 18 hours to bring you that content, so it really does help to support the channel. My code is Judo, but check out your favorite content creators' social media channels in order to find their code. Let's just power through this, purchase all of the packs, and then we will come right back. The first special offer has been purchased. 39 million gold, 39 million elixir. Let's just power through the other ones. And there we have all of the packs now purchased. 39 million gold, 39 million elixir, lots of runes, lots of books. Where do we even start? Little bit of a disclaimer, guys. I haven't really thought too much about what I'm going to upgrade, but we will be sure to get all of the loot spent, get our base upgraded, and if you're ever not sure, the builder suggestion is normally pretty good. It tends to suggest the highest upgrade first, which is often what I would recommend. So for that reason, 4 expos. Why don't we just blast out 4 expos? Let's go. There's one of them with the Book of Building. I thought we could upgrade it another one there for a second. It kind of shocked me with the gold popping up, but obviously not the case. Let's get the expos upgraded with the Book of Building. Yes, I want to use it. Let's power through this. We are already flying through the loot, and let's just get our expos all of the way upgraded. Do we still have another book? Yes, we do. One more Book of Building. Let's get that spent. And we level up as well. We are down to 600,000 gold already. Okay, now this is where I want the second main learning point to come in. Because if I were to use one of our runes of gold, what would happen is I would be losing 600,000 gold. So you always want to try and maximize your spending. So with the amount we have in the treasury, we can collect that, which takes us over 1.6 million. Now I know that doesn't seem like much, but what it will allow us to do is actually upgrade 2 levels of walls, or two walls in themselves, and then we only have 59 million. I don't know why I'm turning to that screen because you can't see it, but 59,000 gold rather than the 600,000, which means now when we use the Rune of Gold, we are not wasting as much gold. So always make sure you're looking for the little upgrades, even if it's a piece of wall, so that you can maximize your rune usage. Okay, we still have a ton of loot, but I think I'm going to switch and see how many levels of the Queen we can get. 176,000 Dark Elixir. Let's go with one of the Books of Hero. Up goes the Queen. Level 56. Let's just power through and see what we can get her to. Come on. Let's see if we can get her 5 levels. I don't think we're going to be able to. Oh, 160. Now, what is the King? Let's take a look. 140. I actually accidentally collected some Dark Elixir there. But let's get the King upgrading. Oh, I don't know if I want to use the book or not. Let's collect our Rune of Dark Elixir, just so we've collected that. And before we forget, let's make sure to collect the Rune of Dark Elixir from the Season Pass. Key learning point number 3, never forget things in your Season Pass. That means we can power through another level of the Queen. Oh, we do need to use something. Do we upgrade the King? Or how many? Yes, let's just upgrade our King with the Town Hall is selected. That was weird. I thought the King was selected, but he wasn't. Let's use the Book of Heroes. Then let's upgrade the Queen. Book of Everything. Let's sit there for a minute. Let's sit there and recalibrate here. Key learning point number 4. Never do hastily upgrades. I'm trying to do it in this video to keep it a little bit fun, but make sure you are thinking about your upgrades carefully so you are managing your loot as best as possible. For that reason, I am going to forget about the Dark Elixir for the moment, move across to the Elixir, because I want to upgrade some troops. Now, I'm actually going to spend the gems here. I have about 5 Book of Fighting, but most of my elixir I want to spend on the troops. So I'm actually going to spend the 900 gems. That may or may not be the best usage of this, but let's find out. Now, in terms of elixir, I tell you what, guys. How many people seen the World Championship qualifiers at the weekend and the 3 stars with the Electro Dragons? They were incredible. I'm going to upgrade them. I might even bring you a video on how to correctly use the Electro Dragons. Let me know if you'd like to see that. But there we go with the Book of Fighting. Oh, it's maxed. There we go. For Town Hall 11, it is done. Now let's go to the P.E.K.K.A. I quite like the P.E.K.K.A. troop. I think it's pretty awesome. And there we go. Maxed level, in fact. So, little key point, if you didn't know, you can get the max level P.E.K.K.A. at Town Hall 12. I'm Town Hall 12 now, not a Town Hall 11. What am I thinking? Let's go with the balloon. 4 lava loon. Got to be done. I always like the lava loon style attacks. And wow, we still have enough elixir to keep going. what do we go for here? I feel like the Wall Breaker, because the Wall Breaker is a very important troop, often underrated, and can really help out your attacks. You know that I broke down the entire Wall Breaker AI in one of my videos, The Wall Breaker Explained, so that's another one I would highly recommend. 1.4 million elixir. Let's take a look at this. What can we upgrade? We can upgrade a bit of wall. We can't really get too much more than that. So let's upgrade one bit of wall. Then let's use one of our rune of elixir, because we have 3 of them, remember. We can overstack because we did indeed purchase them. Let's come back across to the lab and see what we can upgrade. So the wizards, the giants, the Yeti. I am kind of feeling the Yeti. Now, let's double check. Remember, Book of Fighting is not the same as Book of Spells, which we actually don't have. I nearly upgraded the Freeze. Again, another key learning point. Make sure you are checking your books before you spend it if you are intending on using it. So actually, what I'm going to upgrade is the Yeti, because I can use the Book of Fighting. Then let's take a look here. Let's take a look and make sure how many more runes of elixir and gold do we have. We have 2 gold and 2 elixir. So let's go ahead and use one of the gold. I'm kind of feeling the Inferno Tower. I don't know about you guys. I know the suggestion here is the 4 wizard towers because they are quite expensive. But if any of you seen my upgrade guide for every town hall level, I recommended Expos, Inferno Towers, Eagle, Town Hall. Get them upgraded. So I'm actually going to go with the Inferno Tower. Let's upgrade it. And let's see what else we can do here before we go and use any more books. Now, what I'm going to be careful on here is we've got two book of everything. I'm actually going to upgrade walls with the rest of my gold in order to make sure that I have the best value of the upgrades. So let's just quickly power through this. Where am I? There I am. So I don't need to continually click the suggestion. How many people knew of that? Out of curiosity, how many of you knew that you could click the builder suggestion and it would take you directly to where that building was? I actually didn't learn that until quite late in my Clash of Clans career, I guess you could say. But anyways, let's move on. We need to use the wall rings as well, because we have the wall rings in the season pass, remember, and you do not want to forget about your season pass rewards. So let's use some wall rings. Probably brings us here to key learning point number 5. If you are spending 165 million loot in Clash of Clans, you want to make sure you have the perks of the gold pass all glued up. So on the gold pass, I get 20% discount. 165 million loot, that is quite a discount. That's actually over 30 million loot. Wow. Incredible. So make sure if you're spending this amount that you are indeed saving up for the perks. And tagging on to that key learning point, my video where I talked about the tip for starting the gold pass, make sure at the start of each month when you do get your 25 million from the season bank, you are thinking about when the 10% boost is on the next perk, because often it's only about 100 or 200 points through. Save the 25 million for a day or so until you can do that, and then you're saving probably about 5 million loot. I wonder how much loot we would have actually spent if we calculated the wall rings into this as well, because I didn't calculate that in. It was pure loot that I was calculating. What am I looking at here? 2 runes of gold, 2 runes of elixir. Let's get them both collected and let's see what we can upgrade. Moving back across to the lab for the elixir first. Now, we probably want to start looking at the most expensive. When we start getting down to it, and you are closing in on the amount you have left, you want to start upgrading the most expensive. So for that reason, there is the archers and the giants. Now, what is going to be the most valuable to you? Because there's no good in upgrading something if it's not going to give you value. And another key learning point here, I feel like this has been actually a little bit of an educational video, which I always try and bring you. The barbarians and the archers, do not forget about them, because with your king and queen ability, the barbarians and the archers that are spawned are the same level as the ones in your lab. So for that reason, you do actually want to get them upgraded. Now let's pause, because notice it is not a book of fighting. It is a book of everything which is in the lab here. And I would always prioritize buildings for the builders rather than the lab, in my opinion. I do have some lab potions that I could use. So let's take a look at the builder suggestions. Now it is suggesting the wizard tower, but the inferno tower we could get to level 5. Now again, I'm talking about the most expensive upgrades, and when you're using the books as well, you actually want to look for the longest upgrades. So with the inferno tower, that was 8 days. The wizard tower is 11 days. So clearly you want to select the wizard tower if you're using the book, because I just saved 3 days of builder time. Make sure you're checking that out before you upgrade things. If you are just going to instantly upgrade it, you do want to think about builder management with the runes and books. That combination, you want to go for the longest upgrade. With the hammers, which is totally different, that's where it instantly upgrades it and you don't spend the loot. You want to go for the most expensive because you are saving the loot as well. But for the books, just go for the longest. Closing in on it though, closing in on the finish here. How many more book of everything do we have? We have one more book of everything. Now, do we need it? That is the question. What could I upgrade? I'm tempted to just upgrade walls, you know. I'm tempted to upgrade walls with the rest of this, because the book of everything I could probably use on the lab, because I still have quite a few upgrades. When I upgraded my town hall, I actually upgraded with quite a few lab upgrades left. So am I really going to do this? Am I really going to use the... No, I'm not. I am not, because the Archer Queen is going to be a must. Oh my, are we going to waste Dark Elixir? We are. 54 Dark Elixir. For the video, I'm going to waste it. Let's go. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh, I'm going to waste so much Dark Elixir. But to get our Queen to level 60, I'm actually going to go for it and use the book. Level 60 Queen. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Now, let's upgrade more walls with the... let's take a look at this. 4 million, but the wall rings is 5. It always gets to me that. I have the discount from the season pass. Let me use 4 wall rings. I would totally upgrade that with 4 wall rings, but it still wants to use 5. It's a little bit irritating for me, but let's go ahead and just use the 800,000 ones. Now, I would always recommend upgrading your smaller pieces of wall first, because you get a greater percentage increase. So another little power tip for you, 1,500 hit points with 800,000 gold. Let's take a look at one of the walls, which is 4 million. If I can find one. Typical, I can't find one. There we go. 4 million, 1.5 thousand. You get the same percentage increase, it just costs a lot more. So for that reason, as I explained in my upgrade guide for every town hall level, you always want to make sure that you are upgrading the lowest parts of your base first, unless it's something specific. You can upgrade something specific. For example, if you have a lot of loot and you're worried about getting, attacked and you lose that loot, check it out, 0 elixir. That is prime time to use that final rune. We are going to lose a little bit of gold, but we're nearly there, guys. We have nearly spent the entire works here, thrown everything at it, and we need to make sure that we spend the loot wisely. So I will get the wizard tower upgrading at the end. Actually, I'm going to use the inferno tower because I don't have the book now. Yep, so that's 8. So 6 million I have to spend. 6 million gold. Let's get it spent. And then let's go. And wow, this has been quite the spending spree. I have tried to keep it a bit educational. I hope you have enjoyed this one, guys. It has been just more of a fun video, to be honest. I was going to do this anyway, and I figured you might enjoy it. So I hope you have, because, well, if you're still watching, I'm sure you have. Thank you so much for the support. Let's finish this one off, though, with the Inferno, if I can find it. Let's get that upgraded. But first of all, before we get the builder working, let's look at the elixir situation. Am I going to spend the elixir on walls, or am I going to spend it on anything else? Let's take a look. I'm actually going to spend a few gems here, which I should have maybe done earlier on. But there we go. Inferno Tower will be getting upgraded. Then in terms of elixir, let's take a look at this. 7.2 for the Dark Barracks. I think that's the number that we want to be on and what we want to be upgrading. So let's wrap this up. Let's power through the rest of the elixir, get things upgrading. Are we recording? Quick Beakers Lab. Shout out there. Yes, we are. You'd be surprised how often I do that as well, guys. It totally does happen. 7.2, I'm forgetting already. This should bring us near enough down. There we go. Let's get the Dark Barracks upgraded for our Headhunter, and we can finish off the video in style. Incredible that one was. I hope you did enjoy it. My base is quite a bit stronger. Hopefully you learned a couple of things throughout this. If you do actually want to see my upgrade guide for all Town Hall levels, I've got it linked right here. You will probably enjoy that one. It goes into a bit more depth as to which buildings you should upgrade. Kind of hand in hand with this video, to be honest. And I have the subscribe button as well. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Let's break down and explain all 7 super troops so that you know how to use each of them and give you an idea as to which one you should boost up. Welcome back to the channel then, guys. I'm your host, Judo Sloth. Previously, in my Tip for Everything series, we brought you a tip for every super troop. But with the release of the Super Archer, I have had a number of comments to update the video. So I will be using some of the other footage, but I will be updating it with all 7 super troops explained, because I like to bring you educational but entertaining Clash of Clans videos. So if that's the type of content you want to see, I would recommend subscribing and also turning on the notification bell. Now, if you do want to support me in-game, you can do so by using code JUDO within your settings before making any purchases. It is much appreciated, my friends. But let's kick this one off with the Super Barbarian. Now, the first thing to mention when we start discussing the Super Barbarian is that some super troops are better than others, and the Super Barbarian, it is not one of my favorites. However, it can be relatively good for funneling your troops. They have the enraged bonus. You can get down buildings very easily on the outside. The Super Barbarian costs 5 housing space, and similar to the Raged Barbarian of the Builder base, its special ability is being enraged. However, it is only for 8 seconds. But this makes it ideal for sniping off defenses on the outside of the base. And another beautiful thing about the Super Barbarian is that you can send multiple of them in. It is not like the baby dragon where if they get too close they lose their enraged bonus. The Super Barbarian can chug away irrespective of how many you deploy. But this is where the issue lies. You can only unlock 1 super troop at a time, and I rarely recommend the Super Barbarian. Yes, if it is the only super troop that you can actually unlock, then it might be of benefit. But whether you are farming, whether you are doing war attacks, generally speaking, as you will see as we move through the video, there are better options. The other added benefit of the Super Barbarians is because they don't lose their enraged bonus when they are together, unlike the baby dragon troop, you can use them in a mass format. So many of you might have seen my 56 Super Barbarian attack strategy. If you missed that video, I will link it at the end of this one. But it's a really fun attack. You can get a good group of Super Barbarians into the center. They keep their enraged bonus for a good amount of time, and you can still then use a lot of your other Super Barbarians on the outside of the base, as we mentioned for the first technique, because they're very good at funneling. However, if you do have a lot of the other super troops unlocked, it might be that if you're just using Super Barbarians for funneling, you can actually use a different super troop to a better benefit and use a regular super troop for funneling. And my personal favourite, we will get to it, is the Super Wall Breaker. However, let's move along to the Super Archer. Now, the Super Archer is still very new, but I will give you the best uses of it, which is obviously utilising its huge range. It can shoot for 10 tiles, which can actually outrange majority of defences. It can fire through buildings, much like the Electro Dragon's chain, but it does have a housing space of 12. So it is quite costly, however it can reap high rewards if you can very carefully plan on a base where you would use the Super Archer to potentially snipe off a pretty significant defense. Then it can be of huge benefit. So for example, this situation, sniping off a scatter shot. Now, it's important to note that if you are firing through one single building, you would not be able to snipe off the Town Hall or the Eagle Artillery, but you could actually combine an Earthquake or a Lightning spell or multiple Super Archers at different angles. Think about the Troll-style bases where you have the Town Hall and a lot of storages to try and make sure that there is a lot of HP around that area. You might be able to take out Teslas with balloons and then snipe off the Town Hall with some Super Archers firing through multiple storages. Getting creative, but most definitely the best use of the Super Archer is to snipe buildings. So I obviously gave you an example there of how you might be able to use a couple of Super Archers in order to fire through and take a building, but again, it's very situational. This is where the Super Archer, I think, is more geared towards war attacks, where you can really plan things out. Multiplayer will be difficult. For example, in a realistic base, you might be able to hit an Archer tower, but if the building before it goes down, then the Archer will re-target, meaning they are very difficult to use. And that's where I think the 12 housing space has a huge argument, in that it goes down, it's very vulnerable, and therefore it's not worth it. However, in my opinion, I don't see it being a hugely used troop, but it's one where in war, you might be able to use it for a huge value. For example, if you could snipe off one of the defenses we talked about with 12 housing space, then it is most definitely worth it. So I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think the Super Archer is one of the super troops we will use across a wide variety of bases. I do think there are better options, which will be explained coming up. However, if you are a Town Hall 11, maybe you only have access to the Barbarian and the Super Archer, your Barbarian's on cooldown, you could use the Super Archer to snipe off some of the resources if you're farming, or we did find an attack strategy coupling them with the Witches, which worked similar to the Super Barbarian one we just explained with the lightning spells. I will link this one down in the description as well if you are interested. However, I just want to finish for the Super Archer by saying that I do think it's something that for friendly challenges and friendly wars, when we can really plan out attacks and just select the super troop, it's not like we have to boost it up. It could be of huge benefit if you do happen to find a strong weakness in a base when you can snipe off one of the defenses. I do think that's the main use, and I do think that is something that for friendly challenge and friendly war you do want to keep in the back of your mind. We now move on to the Super Giants, and I have some pretty cool stats and comparisons for you for the Super Giants, but I do want to let you know real quick that if you do need to come back to this video at a later date to see tips for whatever super troop it is, I've put video chapters in it for you, so you should be able to skip ahead. There's timestamps in the description as well so that you can easily find it. But the Super Giant is relatively easy to explain in terms of it is a meatier version of the Giant. It's a Super Giant. Now, the regular Giant is 5 housing space, the super giant is 10 housing space, but you get more than twice the hit points in a super giant. Obviously, you do have to commit the dark elixir to it in the first place. So if you are planning a strategy with giants to push into the base, consider the super giants, because you will get more than twice the hit points, and also they do 4 times damage against walls. Now, how about comparing this to the ice golem? The ice golem is 15 troop capacity. Obviously, you get the freezing effect, which is its big advantage, but it actually does not have the same hit points. A super giant at maximum level has 4,200, whereas an ice golem only has 3,400. So if you are using the troop for tanking specifically, the super giant will be your best option. And that's not to mention when it does 4 times damage against walls. Now, there is a little bit of a caveat to that, in that the super giants only are attacking defenses, so that means they might go for the wrong piece of wall, and that's where I would advise you to always consider using a jump spell if you do want them to go to a certain area of the base. So we've explained when the super giant might be important if you just need it for tanking. We've explained that you might have to take jump spells to guide them through the base, but what kind of strategy could you use the super giants with? Well, who remembers the HGHB attack? That's what I found them beneficial with. If you can get the super giants and bowlers into the center, then you can just easily send Hog Riders or the Royal Champion around the outside of the base to cut out the rest of the defenses when you have taken out the core. That is what I have found the Super Giants to be best with, but let's move on to one of my favourite super troops, in that of the Sneaky Goblins. One of the best uses of the Sneaky Goblins is to take down the Town Hall. Now, people will send the Sneaky Goblins inside a battle blimp to get to the Town Hall. Remember, the Town Hall is now a storage, and the goblins attack resource buildings, so they will take it down straight away at higher level. Even if it is not activated, they will attack it. But I want to give you tips around the troop composition for the goblins. Now, you may need a rage spell depending on the defenses. If you are just farming, you can probably just put Sneaky Goblins in, they will take the Town Hall. If you are doing a Lava Loon attack, you can put a Lava Hound in there with up to 5 Sneaky Goblins to take the Town Hall, and you essentially have a free Lava Hound for your attack. But what happens if you see a base with gaps around the Town Hall? What this is the defender getting wise to the Sneaky Goblins and putting small bombs there in order to take out the Sneaky Goblins before they get the Town Hall. You can counteract this with barbarians inside your clan castle in a mixture. So you have barbarians, the Sneaky Goblins for the Town Hall. Notice how the Sneaky Goblins can also take the clan castle and the DE storage, anything inside there. But you can take, at Town Hall 13, 6 barbarians, 5 Sneaky Goblins, 3 minions, and 1 Yeti in order to get brilliant value. Now, the minions are used to distract a scatter shot if it is in the area. My good friend Eve Maxey taught me about that one. So the barbarians are for the small bombs, the minions are to distract the scatter shot so that the Sneaky Goblins can take the Town Hall and you get that star. But my recommendation, if you are a Town Hall 13, is to take 5 Sneaky Goblins, 6 Barbarians, 3 Minions, and a Yeti. The Sneaky Goblins get the Town Hall, the Yeti gets good value if the Yeti mites, the Barbarians are to set off the bombs, and the Minions are to distract any scatter shot in the area. So the scatter shots will attack the air troops in that of the Minions and miss the Goblins. Many thanks to my good friend Eve Maxey for teaching me about the Minions. A couple of other really quick tips for the Sneaky Goblins before we get to the Super Wall Breakers. You can use them for funneling on the outside of the base if you are attacking the resource buildings. Now, presumably your Sneaky Goblins are maxed level and you're going up against a regularly upgraded base. You will require 1 Sneaky Goblin per mine or pump and 2 Sneaky Goblins to take out one of the storages. Also, be on the lookout for exposed town halls and clan castles to the side of the base. It does happen, and you can send in just a couple of Sneaky Goblins to snipe the town hall or the clan castle. You are likely to need 4 to 5, however, I would probably just take 5 just in case, and also have in the back of your mind that there could be traps in that area as well. The Super Wall Breakers are without a doubt one of my favourite super troops and one that I would recommend you use for war, particularly if you're doing a queen charge. They can be incredibly good. For me, they are on par with the sneaky goblins as the best super troops in the game, depending on your purpose, whether it be the town hall or to get access into the base. Be sure to let me know your favourite and if there are any tips you feel I missed for any of these super troops. However, the Super Wall Breaker, it's exactly the same as the regular Wall Breaker in that it breaks walls, but it costs 8 troop capacity, and this is where it really shines because it will go off irrespective. It's very predictable. The regular wall breakers, you've got to do test wall breakers to make sure they actually get through the layer of wall and there's not a small bomb to take them out. With a multi-inferno, you probably have to freeze the multi-inferno. Otherwise, the multi will just take out your wall breakers incredibly easy. But the super wall breakers, although they are 8 housing space, they are so much more reliable, particularly if you are doing a queen charge. So I would highly recommend the super wall breakers on the outside of the base. They're a little bit trickier to get in, and for 8 housing space you probably only want to break 2 to 3 layers, then think about using the jump spells. But they are very reliable and I would highly recommend using them. I actually did a video, The Wall Breakers Explained, which would give you a lot more in depth of how to use them, because like I said, they're exactly the same in the AI as the regular wall breaker. Now the Inferno Dragon is basically a baby dragon with a single target inferno strapped to its back. So for that reason, you need to use it to its strengths against high HP buildings. And I had a couple of really good examples of the best tips for the Inferno Dragons in my reveal video. So I'm actually going to use that footage because the examples were great and perfectly aligned to this video. Now, I think there are 2 very clear, fantastic uses for the Inferno Dragons. The first one being having them in your defensive clan castle. This might cause the queen's ability to be burnt, but think about as well if the queen was also getting damaged by the defenses. Irrespective of the amount of defenses though, you are going to have to commit something to the Inferno baby dragons on defense, even if that is just a freeze spell to reset the charging ability and protect your queen's ability. But if there are a lot of other defenses shooting at your queen, it might be that you need to use a rage spell as well, but you have to consider the Inferno Dragons on defense. The other main use that I see for the Inferno Dragon is to ensure you take out the town hall. Now this could be particularly good on ring style bases where you can just focus on taking out the outside and just send a couple of Inferno Dragons into the town hall. Now you do have to be careful of black bombs, so you might want to send 2 of them in, and also you might have to commit a freeze spell depending on if there's any defenses around. However, the Inferno Dragon can indeed get through that town hall no problem, because it will be able to do an incredible amount of DPS once it has charged up its attack. Finally, we have the Super Witches. Now, the Super Witches are incredibly difficult to use. They have 40 housing space and they house 1 big boy. So the big boy is the one single skeleton that is spawned, and it is similar in hit points to a super giant. The super witch, although it's 40 housing space, actually does approximately twice the amount of damage as a regular witch, so that is the difference maker. Now, the best example I can give you is of this one from the qualifiers, where Eve Check was able to take out a Max Town Hall 13 using the Super Witches. The one thing I would say is that the Super Witches can time fail. You have to only take around about 4 Super Witches because they are 40 housing space. That is 160 in total if you have 4 of them. You need healers behind the Super Witches to get that value, so you are not going to have many troops. This is why Evechek used a Grand Warden Walk initially in his attack, and also has some cleanup troops. But the reason that the Super Witches can be useful in the base itself is if they have a large open space in the core. They can actually get in there and tank a lot of defenses. It might be that the scattershot are very difficult to path to if you are using the Yetis, and this means that the big boys and the Super Witches with the healers, because you've only got 4 of them, they tend to stand together, so you're healing a lot of them together. They will be able to tank that scattershot all day long. A couple of other tips to consider with the Super Witches are that you don't really have to worry about the Giga Bomb at Town Hall 12 or 13, because the big boy and the Super Witches, they can get through that incredibly easily. So your Grand Warden's ability can be used in the core. Multi-target Infernos are probably the best thing to go up against, despite that being the worst for a regular witch. You can get through a single target Inferno, but you've just got to know that that is the case. And similar to what we discussed with the Super Giants and the HGHB, you're using the Super Witches in the core to take out the core and tank everything surrounding the base with Hog Riders or the Royal Champion. That is what has been found to be the best use of the Super Witches so far, and the best tip that I can give you. Using them to tank big open spaces where the scattershots are difficult to get to, and you are mitigating the splash because they are massive. They have all of the hit points, surround the base with the Hogs and the Royal Champion. So I hope you enjoyed the updated version of this video. If you do want to see the video with 56 Super Barbarians and the attack strategy, I have it linked on your screen. I'm sure you will enjoy that one because it is an incredibly fun attack and yields 3 stars. I also have the subscribe button for you, but you guys take care, and I will see you in the next video.